Hi friends, it's Miss Suzanne. Oh my goodness friends, spring is here. We are so excited. And we are learning all about caterpillars this week and how a caterpillar will eat and eat and eat and go into a chrysalis and emerge as a beautiful butterfly. We're so excited to see our butterflies when they are ready to come out of their chrysalis. So, for this week, I found a wonderful book called 10 Little Caterpillars. And this book is lovely because it has everything labeled. So we're going to learn about our caterpillars, but then we're going to learn about the flowers they eat and the vegetables they like to munch on. There's going to be a lot of new words to learn. So let's get started. 10 Little Caterpillars. Oh my goodness. Look at them munching on that leaf. Munch, 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 munch. The first little caterpillar crawled into a bower. Bower is a word for a branch with lots of other branches coming off of it. And this bower is wild roses. The second little caterpillar wriggled up a flower. Oh my goodness, look at all of these flowers. The blue flower is called a delphinium. And this kind of orangey and yellow flower with the black circle in the middle, well, that's called a blanket flower. The purple ones are foxgloves. Isn't that a fun word for a flower? A foxglove. Do you think foxes wear gloves? And then these last two that the caterpillar is on, those are called snapdragons. Oh, isn't that a fun name for a flower? The third little caterpillar climbed a cabbage head. Oh my goodness, look at that huge cabbage that the caterpillar is going to get ready to eat. And right next to it is a toad. And then there is a winter squash, and there is a beetle sitting on the stem of the winter squash. The fourth little caterpillar found a melon bed. Yes, it certainly did. There's a watermelon, and a musk melon, and a honeydew melon. And oh my goodness, look, what's these over here on the stem? We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 ladybugs. The fifth little caterpillar sailed a garden pool. Looks like he fell into a pool in the backyard with a lot of old tree leaves. They look like, let's see what they have written here. Oak leaves and maple leaves. And I can't quite make this one out. Poplar leaf. The sixth little caterpillar was carried off to school. Oh, someone found him and put him in a jar, and they're going to take him to school and watch him and see what he becomes. Kind of like the caterpillars that we're watching right now. The seventh little caterpillar met a hungry wren. Oh, do you know what a wren is, friends? This little bird sitting on the thistle branch is a wren, and do you know what wrens like to do to caterpillars? They like to eat them up. I don't think that caterpillar is going to become a butterfly, do you? He is sitting on a thistle, and there is a grasshopper and a dragonfly with him. The eighth little caterpillar was frightened by a hen. Uh-oh. I don't know. Maybe he made it out, I don't know. The ninth little caterpillar fell into the sea. Oh my goodness, look at that big, big fish. He's probably going to have a caterpillar for lunch. The 10th little caterpillar scaled an apple tree. Look at that. And hung there patiently. Look, here are the apples in the fall. They have all fallen off. You can see where the caterpillar ate the leaves. And now look, here is the chrysalis. It is where the caterpillar has gone to sleep and is becoming a butterfly. And there's a cardinal here on the leaf. Hung there patiently until by and by, the 10th little caterpillar became a butterfly. Look, here's the branch. It started out as an apple branch, and then it was all old dead leaves, and then it is now covered with apple blossoms. And before you know it, those apple blossoms will become apples again. And that's, well, the life of an apple tree. How interesting. How interesting. So here is the butterfly that was in the chrysalis on the apple tree. It has become a butterfly, and now it's in the garden with all of these beautiful flowers. My goodness. Now let's take a look at this very interesting page. It tells you all about the 10 caterpillars that we looked at. There are as many caterpillars as there are butterflies. There are as many butterflies as there are flowers. So many, and everyone looks a little different. We have a morning cloak, and it turns into this beautiful butterfly. This caterpillar is called a buckeye, and it turns into this pretty little butterfly. Here's one called a cabbage looper. It likes to eat leaves and garden crops. It turns into a moth. Oh my goodness, this one looks like a yellow bear. And it becomes a Virginian tiger moth. We have one here that likes to feed on leaves. It's called yellow-necked caterpillar, and it becomes a moth. Here is the monarch caterpillar. Look how stripy it is. That becomes a monarch. There's one that's called a painted lady caterpillar. So as you can see, all of these butterflies come from their very own little caterpillar. And we have to be very careful not to clean up our yards too quickly this time of year, because all of those caterpillars are in cocoons right now. And if we rake them away, we don't get to have our butterflies in the spring. So let's remember that, friends. Okay, so I think we have come to the end. I hope you enjoyed this book. And I hope it gave you something to think about. There are so many different caterpillars and so many different butterflies, just like there's so many different friends. We're all a little different, but we're all good friends. So let's have a wonderful spring, and I'll see you next time. Bye.